Hello, my ghouls and fools. MC here today. Today, guys, it is October the 1st. I thought, why not today we react to scary stories since I haven't done one for a while. That being said, warning, this video does contain scary stuff, blood, and many other things you may not like scary things. You have been warned. And we'll be reacting only 3 stories. That being said, let's begin, shall we, ghouls?
My name is Cheryl, and I want to tell you my scary story. I have lived in the countryside since I was a child. I'm from an area where there are many old historic houses. Many of my friends boasted about the age of their possessions, but I could boast of something much more special. There is an old tile factory in my yard that belongs to my family. To be more specific, there are several buildings that make up this old tile factory. They stretched across both sides of the entrance to the yard, and although they aroused admiration among my friends, they could be terrifying at night. Often, when I came home late, I would run across the yard as to not look at the broken windows and dark entrances. This story happened.
Why why did they call me out like that? I will do that because I'm scared. I'm not brave. I'm a very, very scared person. But okay, so I do have a feeling something is gonna be in one of the buildings and I don't trust it. So that being said, let's continue.
One winter afternoon, when I was walking home from school, there was only one bus every hour from my village. So when I finished school after 8 lessons, especially in winter, I would go home right when it got dark outside. That day, I had to cross the yard again. So as always, whenever I crossed the street, I ran quickly towards the house. About halfway there, I looked up and saw that a woman was standing in one of the rooms of the building, the entrance to which was covered with a white sheet. I stopped. At first, I was terrified and felt goosebumps.
Do not explore places. And first of all, why don't you have a flashlight with you when it's dark? Or a phone at least. I feel like that's like the scariest thing. If you don't have a light in the dark, I feel like it's 100% worse being in the darkness. Okay, let's continue before I rabble on.
Bumps across my body. Who could it be? However, after a while, when the figure left the room, I noticed that it was none other than my aunt. I breathed a sigh of relief. "Hey, Auntie," I said as I waved at her. She gave me a friendly smile and responded, "Hi, how's school going?" But at that moment, I began to feel that something was wrong. Why didn't she have a flashlight with her? It was dark. I looked at her closely and noticed that she was very pale and her smile seemed forced. "Everything's fine," I replied. Auntie smiled even wider, which suddenly scared me. I held back a shiver. Suddenly, an idea popped into my head. "Which bus did you take home from work today?" I asked her. There was only one bus that came to our village, and it was the one I took home from school. Her answer told me everything I needed to know. "There was a lot of traffic today, and I didn't want to wait, so I took a different bus," she said. I didn't even look at her face. I immediately ran towards the house, not waiting for a reaction. As I said, there was only one bus to my village, so my aunt couldn't have taken another bus. Also, I only realized it once I got inside my house. But my aunt was working until 8 p.m. that day, and it was only 5 p.m. When I told my family about what happened, there was a lot of confusion. Grandma called my aunt, and Grandma and Dad went out to search the yard. Fortunately, the strange being, or whatever it was no longer there. After this incident,
I'm curious, was it a skinwalker? I don't know too much of like ghost stuff because apparently I think a skinwalker is different because apparently they will look like the person you know and they will try to trick you so they can eat you. I'm not sure that's right. I could be completely wrong. So let's continue.
For several weeks, my parents gave me a lift to school by car, and I never entered any of the old buildings again. To this day, I wonder what that creature was and why it took on the appearance of my aunt.
Hey, it's the demon!
Hey Wansi, this is a story that my mom's grandfather told her and now I want to share it with you. I'm a guy from India, you can call me Mark. To give a little context, this event happened way back in 1966 when my mom's grandfather worked in the Indian Army as a quartermaster. He was a very strong man, and there was almost nothing that could scare him. It was a frigid winter night in 1966. He was posted in an area called Ladakh, and the temperature there reached below the freezing point several times. That night, he was doing his patrolling duty in the area around the camp. This was when people used to ride horses, so he was patrolling on his horse. While he was out, he saw a strange tent in the distance. He was not alone though, as there were a few officers patrolling along with him. They went together to check out the tent, and what he saw sent a chill down his spine. He saw several disfigured people dancing at what seemed to be a party.
Oh no, that's no. That's horrifying. No, they're dead corpses. I don't like this. I don't like this. Why did I agree to do this? Let's continue.
Otherworldly music was being played, and to his surprise, none of the people were wearing winter clothing. On that chilly winter night, which was next to impossible to bear, they were fine without any warmth. The next thing he noticed was that many of the people's feet were twisted around backwards. He didn't need to see anything else to know who these people were. As soon as they saw him and his fellow officers, they shouted,
"Hey look, we have some government officers as guests."
They then invited them to the party. Though the officers were hesitant, they accepted the offer.
No, why would you do that? You could have just ran and left. Why would you stay? I wouldn't. I would ran. I would ran my life. Oh my god. Let me know in the comments, guys. What will you do? Will you actually accept going to the party, or you just ran like me? Let me know in the comments.
The strange people offered to serve them food, but the army officers requested for them to put the food in a bag for later as they were already full. They went home with those bags, and when they opened them, found strange meats, including some human parts and some unusual bones.
Oh, no.
The following night, the officers returned to the same place while patrolling, but there were no signs to be found of the people or the tent. It had all disappeared as though nothing had even happened.
Hi, my name is Maria. This is a true story that happened to me. I am 15 years old and I live in the Philippines. Just to let you know, I am currently in my 3rd year of junior high school, which in the Philippines is the 9th grade. Our class starts at 12 noon and ends around 6:45 or 7 in the evening. In our country, there is a vehicle we call a tricycle. It is a 3-wheel vehicle made with a motorcycle and a sidecar. I usually go home with one of my classmates, but one day, she was sick and didn't attend our class. Anyways, our class ended late that night, and we all got out from school around 7:10 at night. I was waiting for a tricycle for about 10 minutes, but unfortunately, there weren't any at that time. I got frustrated and decided to walk home, even though our house is far from our school. I was walking for about 5 minutes when a tricycle stopped in front of me. I was relieved, thinking maybe I wouldn't have to walk home, but quickly got scared when I saw the driver. He was kind of handsome. He looked like he was 19 or 20 years old and had black hair. I know you're all wondering why I was scared, and the reason is, he was smiling from ear to ear while staring at me. I was asking myself whether or not I should get into the tricycle or not, but got in after thinking about how late it already was.
No, I would do that. I would just walk home. No, like, I know there's people like you could tell that person is dangerous by their characters, but there's some people could hide their like disguise themselves, like hiding their personality, like make, I don't know what's it called, like hiding mask or something. I don't know what's it called. You guys let me know in the comments.
And how far from home I still was. I told the driver my address and he started driving. I was very nervous. So I got my phone out of my pocket and texted my parents the plate number of the tricycle. "How old are you, miss?" said the driver, breaking the silence. I got goosebumps hearing his voice. It was deep and creeped me out. I awkwardly told him I was 15. "You're in 9th grade, am I correct?" he asked. "Yes, sir," I answered. He was asking me personal questions like what are my hobbies, what time do I go home from school, and do I usually go home this late? He was busy talking to me when he saw an old lady on the side of the street, waiting for a tricycle. He stopped the vehicle right in front of the old lady, and the old lady got into the tricycle. The lady told him her address, and the man started driving again. The old lady was busy looking for her money in her big purse, when she suddenly stopped and looked at me. She whispered and told me that her house was not far from here, and she suggested that I stay with her since she noticed that there was something off with this man. As soon as the tricycle stopped in front of her house, we quickly got off the vehicle and paid the driver. We entered her house and I called my parents to pick me up. I told them what happened, and they quickly thanked the old lady. Ever since that incident happened, my dad has been picking me up from school every night. Months later, my family and I were watching TV when I saw the driver in the news. The news stated that he was a wanted criminal who had killed many girls who had finally been arrested after 2 years. The news also mentioned that he killed girls who were 17 to 20 years old. I was shocked and terrified, remembering how I felt there was something off about him. I was lucky I wasn't one of the girls he killed, and I am very thankful for the older lady who saved me from that man. Until now, I still wonder what would have happened to me if that lady hadn't saved me from that guy.
Nope. I'm gonna blur everything. Nope. I'm gonna blur everything. Oh no, that's horrifying. I don't like that. Let me say this, guys. If you find any person who's dangerous and there's a young kid, not knowing the situation, just do do something similar to like the old lady and try to help out. Like, oh god, I don't know how I feel about this. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please guys, like, comment down below, subscribe, and hit that notification bell when I post another spooky video. That being said, this is MC, signing out.